Chapter 15 of Fairy Stories My Children Love Best of All. Drakesbill and His Friends. Drakesbill was very little, but, tiny as he was, he knew a thing or two. He laid up every cent that he earned, and before long he had saved $100 in gold. The king never did anything but spend money. When he heard that Drakesbill had some gold pieces, he made haste to borrow them. It made Drakesbill feel proud to have it said that he had lent money to the king. A year went by, 2 years, 3 years, and the king seemed to have forgotten him. At last, Drakesbill made up his mind that he would go and see the king and tell him that he needed the gold pieces very much. So, early one morning, Drakesbill went down the high road toward the king's palace, singing, "Quack, quack, 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 shall I get my money back?" He had not gone far when he met Friend Fox. "Good morning, my good neighbor," said Friend Fox. "Where are you going so early in the day?" "I am going to the king to ask him to pay me what he owes me." "Take me with you," said the Friend Fox. Drakesbill said, "Certainly I will take you, but you walk on 4 legs, and you will soon get tired. So make yourself very small, get into my mouth, creep under my tongue, and I will carry you." Friend Fox thanked him very kindly and did as he was told. Then Drakesbill set off again singing, "Quack, quack, 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 shall I get my money back?" He had not gone far when he met Friend Ladder, leaning against a wall, who greeted him with, "Good day, whither away, so bold and gay, this fine new day?" "I am going to the king to ask him to pay me what he owes me." "Take me with you," said Friend Ladder. Drakesbill said, "Certainly I will take you, but you have such long wooden legs that you will soon get tired. So make yourself very small, get into my mouth, creep under my tongue, and I will carry you." Friend Ladder thanked him, made himself very small, and did as he was told. Then Drakesbill set off again singing, "Quack, quack, 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 shall I get my money back?" He had not gone far when he met Laughing River, who said, "Good morning, oh, whither do you go, so happy and slow, while the soft breezes blow?" "I am going to the king, for he owes me money, and I want him to pay me back." "Take me with you," said Laughing River. Drakesbill said, "Certainly I will take you, but you always sleep while you run, and you will soon get tired. So make yourself very small, get into my mouth, creep under my tongue, and I will carry you." Laughing River thanked him very kindly, and then did as she was told. Drakesbill set off again singing, "Quack, quack, 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 shall I get my money back?" A little farther on he met Neighbor Wasp Nest, who said, "Good morning, my son, whither do you run, so full of fun, in the bright warm sun?" "The king owes me money, and I am going to see him and make him pay me," answered Drakesbill. "Take me with you," said Neighbor Wasp Nest. Drakesbill said, "Certainly I will take you, but you will soon get tired, so make yourself quite small, get into my mouth, creep under my tongue, and I will carry you." Neighbor Wasp Nest thanked him very kindly, and then did as he was told. Then Drakesbill went on singing, "Quack, quack, 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 shall I get my money back?" When he came to the king's palace, he climbed up the step, stood on tiptoe, and knocked at the door. "Who's there?" asked the doorkeeper. "'Tis I, Drakesbill," answered the drake. "I want to speak with the king." The doorkeeper replied, "That is easier said than done. The king is in the parlor counting out his money." "That is just what I want," said Drakesbill. "Tell him I am here. He will know what I am after." The doorkeeper went into the parlor, but the king was not there. He was in the kitchen, just sitting down to dinner, with a white napkin round his neck. "Good, good," said the king. "I know the rascal. Fetch him in and put him with the turkeys and the chickens." The doorkeeper went back to the door and said, "Walk in, sir. The king is at dinner." "Now," said Drakesbill to himself, "I can see how the folks eat at the king's table." "This way," said the doorkeeper. "Now step through that gate. There you are." Poor Drakesbill was in the poultry yard. This made him angry. "You wait," he said. "I'll show you." "Quack, quack, quack, give my money back." When the turkeys and the chickens saw what a funny little fellow had come among them, and when they heard him singing his queer song, they all rushed upon him. If he had not had his wits about him, they would have pecked him to death in no time. But, as luck would have it, he remembered Friend Fox, and he cried out, Friend Fox, from your hiding place come quick, or sad will be my case." Friend Fox leaped out from his hiding place, threw himself on the fowls, and tore them to pieces. Drakesbill began to sing again, "Quack, quack, quack, give my money back." But the king was very angry when the poultry woman and the cook and the doorkeeper all rushed into the kitchen and told him what had happened. He ordered them to seize Drakesbill and throw him into the well, and thus make an end of him. I am lost, cried Drakesbill as he fell fluttering down into the deep, dark hole. "I can never climb out of this place." Then he happened to think of Friend Ladder, and he sang, "Ladder, ladder, from beneath my tongue come quick, or soon my song will be sung." Friend Ladder leaped out quickly and stood with his feet at the bottom of the well and his 2 arms resting upon the top. Drakesbill then climbed on his back, and soon he was up and singing louder than ever, "Quack, quack, quack, give my money back." The king, who was still at table, heard him singing, and the song made him so angry that he almost choked. "Can't anybody make that fellow hush?" he cried. Then he ordered his men to build a great fire, and when it was hot, to throw Drakesbill into it and burn him up. But Drakesbill was not much afraid this time. Just when the flames were highest, and the captain of the king's men was going to toss him in, he sang out, "River, river, outward flow, or in the fire I must go." Friend River quickly came forth, put out the fire, and flowed into the king's palace 4 feet deep. Drakesbill swam hither and thither, singing, "Quack, quack, quack, give my money back." Of course, after all this had happened, the king was more angry than ever. When he saw Drakesbill swimming about so coolly, while he had to stand on the table to keep his feet dry, he could hardly contain himself. "Bring that fellow here, and I'll finish him with this carving knife. Bring him here quick," he cried. 2 servants rushed out, seized Drakesbill, and dragged him toward the king, who was standing with drawn carving knife. The king's brave men, with swords in their hands, were all around him. "It is all over with me now," said Drakesbill. "I don't see how I can live through this." But just then he thought of neighbor Wasp Nest, and he cried out, Wasp Nest, hither fly, or Drakesbill soon will have to die." Then Wasp Nest waked up his wasps, and things changed very quickly. The wasps rushed out, flew at the king and his brave men, and stung them so badly that they ran and jumped right out of the windows, and nobody in the palace ever saw them again. After a while, Drakesbill remembered his money, and began to sing as before. Then he looked round to find his 100 yellow pieces of gold. He peeped into all the corners and opened all the drawers. It was of no use. There was not a dollar in the house. The king had spent everything. By and by, Drakesbill found his way into the room where the king's throne stood. As he was very tired, he sat down to rest among the cushions of velvet and gold. When the people saw the king and his brave men run away, they crowded into the palace to see what was the matter. The only person they found there was little Drakesbill, sitting by himself on the throne. Then they all shouted, "The king is dead! Long live the king! Let Drakesbill rule, we'll ever sing." One of them ran and got the golden crown. This they put on Drakesbill's head, and hailed him as king, Drakesbill had made up his mind not to be surprised at anything, so he sat very still and took it all as a matter of course. "He doesn't look much like a king," whispered a few. "He will be the best king we have ever had," said others. Some who had known him before said, "A Drakesbill is better any day than a king who does nothing but spend our money." So that is the way in which little Drakesbill became king. End of chapter 15.